Scott Delzer is running for Madison City Commission. The other candidates are Dick Erickson and Roger Huseman. There are 2 seats up for election. You can compare the responses at amazingmadison.com. Scott, there's a lot of talk about how fast electric rates have gone up here in Madison compared to some of the other service providers in the area. Is it time for the city to maybe think about getting out of the electric service business?
No, I don't believe so. I think, a couple factors that are causing the rates to increase at rapid rates. Obviously, the rate increases coming into us are, a large factor of that. Another factor is just over the years, Madison has really held back as much as they can on raising rates, and that's kind of come to a head here. So instead of maybe having slow increases over time, much like the other providers in the area, what we've done is maybe absorbed expenses over time and then had larger increases all at once. So those 2 factors really have really had a lot of impact on why we've had 7-8% increases in the last few years. I'm a big proponent of having small increases consistently over time, so that when we do have big changes, they're not so hard to budget. I mean, I think that's the biggest problem. It's really tough for a citizen to absorb large increases. Small increases over time, just like pretty much anything else they're purchasing on a regular basis, those you can absorb in, you can factor for, but it's the large increases that really cause the major issues.
Now, a lot of projects are being discussed and a lot of projects on the table, but of course budget is an issue everywhere. What projects do you think should be priorities for the city of Madison?
Well, right now, some of the priorities that we have, street improvements, I think is a big one. We always have that on our plate, but we've held off on a few improvements over the last few years. Other projects have, for whatever reason, a lot of times it falls into there's federal money, those type of things. So we've got a few street improvements that really need to be done. We've got some streets that are in conditions that I don't think are levels that our citizens accept to get to that point. Part of that process too, we're really working hard to look forward in the future, and instead of just picking a road and saying, in 10 years we're going to do this, we're evaluating the conditions of roads. Roads deteriorate at different levels, and roads that have higher usage maybe need to be worked on a little more often, or renovated more often than ones in residential areas that don't have the traffic. So those 2 components are going to help us in the future, but right now our roads are really something that I think we need to, in the very short term, we need to do some improvements.
Okay. And what do you see as potential revenue sources to fix some of these roads and our water mains too?
Well, that's a tough one. Economic development is the best way, I guess, for the city to have an impact on that. Every private industry, economy, all those things has such a huge impact on our income. Obviously raising taxes is the one thing that we can do that has the immediate impact on it. I don't think that's the answer. I think right now the taxes that we're collecting should be sufficient for the projects that we need to have done. I'm a big believer in, if we want more money, we need to create more jobs, create more money coming into the city so that we get a higher tax base.
Okay, Scott, thank you very much. Thanks to candidate Scott Delzer. You can hear more from all of the candidates April 5th at the Madison Chamber of Commerce